Ahoy mates, I'm Zolonius and welcome to my den. Today I shall tell you of the wicked shenanigans my TTRPG group have done in the 4 sessions we had as of yet. The system we are using are my own, which puts emphasis on custom character creation. So our cast is a regenerating troll ogre thing, not unlike those in Warhammer Fantasy, a redneck mutant ninja gator, a voidborn hentai monster, a big titty honey and nurse, a British orc with bug honey addiction, and an Angibone golem. The setting is in a cursed wasteland where the dead don't stay so for long, and the living have trouble remaining so. Whilst the story is that the remnant court of the undead god, who made this wasteland, want it back for themselves, so they sent the party as a vanguard to build a forward base for their military operations. Since they operate quite mafia-like, one could say this is Medieval Fallout Necromancy Edition. Session 3. The ogres and orcs players couldn't make it for the session due to IRL stuff, so only the bug lady, the hentai monster, and the RMNG remained. Since they weren't much of the fighting type, they decided to try their hands on the Skele healing side quests. First, they asked one of the sane farmers for information, and they got a floor plan for the house of the elder, who they learn is a strong mage alongside his whole extended family. Then their first insane undead they visited was the blacksmith couple, who turned lamenter because their water wheel is useless, since all the water that had connection to the surface had evaporated due to the curse, and thus they cannot do their craft. Easy enough, after yet another brainstorming session where such bright ideas came up, like creating a permanent rift in space to the water realm, or attaching a windmill to the wheel, the party came to the conclusion that they can just order the gamer words to turn the wheel by hand, which turned out, pun intended please laugh, to be a cheap, quick, but low quality solution. Still, since the hammer has started striking again and the smith pair had some rusty ass metal lying around, they started making carpenter tools as per request of the party. Though they had a bit of an accident, as the firewood they chopped up to fuel the fire came back to life and scurried out of the forge. But they were retrieved after a bit of a hassle. Next stop was the carpenter, who turned repeater alongside his wife and 2 kids, and were constantly reliving the day they were making stakes for the village's defense. Party tried to snap them out via communication or giving them some woodworking tools, but to no avail. They learned a funny story about the childish skeletons getting eaten by a warg just so for the whippersnappers to burst out of its belly and go back repeating, whilst the now undead warg starts repeating eating them, which lasted until the warg broke into pieces from the constant bursting. After this, they tried their luck on one of the farmer's twin daughters, who were also repeaters and were going in circles in front of the guy's house, singing morbid nursery rhymes. The party had the brilliant idea of making Robin Yahoo do a rap battle with the children. And he lost. The farmer in question still gave them information nonetheless, regarding his wife who went missing 20 years ago to the village north, and also about the swineherd's wife, was also a good cook back in the days when she still had flesh on her bones. So the party went and looked for her. They found her tiny bony ass near yet another farmer's house, who had his son locked in the cellar since he became a reveler. The father in question seemed to be quite weird, sitting on top of his house giggling, but the woman was semi-reasonable, though she wanted the cellar boy's koch. After some pep talk, she noted there is supposed to be the resting place of a vampire, which the party dubbed Count Dankula, and also bitched about her family being tarred, so they went and to investigate. Swineherd was a repeater, repeating the day his wife came out of the grave until the point he first saw her. The son and his girlfriend were lamenters because skeletons can bone each other. Okay, I let myself out. Redneck Mutant Ninja Gator first stops the man from reaching the doorway where he would normally reset. Then he forces the skeleton to sit down, which only works halfway because while he is technically sitting, his legs still try to walk. So after a physical roll, the chair loses. Then comes the bright idea of using the Big Titty Bug's tent to make a burrito out of the skeleton, since nobody bought rope for fuck's sake. So they do just that and succeed not to hump the burrito. For a second time, they unleash Robin Yahood on the mofo, but his rhymes get challenged by Carpathia songs sung by the swineherd, and since the hentai monster was a paprika snorter as well, the party stopped the rap battle before poor tentacle thing gets disintegrated from cringe. Robin loses again on technicality. As a last-ditch effort, the group decided to hug the burrito, in which joined Robin, the swineherd's wife, and even Gunther with his neat wolf pelt, which started wiggling after getting reanimated by the curse. The hug fucking worked. The swineherd got a reality check so hard after learning he was undead, he needed the tent as his blankie now. But as this was unacceptable by the party, Gunther donated his animated wolf pelt to the manlet, in hopes of getting a new one soon. The swineherd turned out to be called John Arbuckle, and he told great secrets to the group, like that he fucked the pigs, or that the elder wants this his present of meat buns in favor of the hunter's gift of a three-eyed crow skull.